Hey, happy Friday and happy Digest Day. I had so much fun putting these digests together last season that I'm doing it again because it's such a nice chance for me to look around and look at what's inspiring me and then share that with you. So if you have enjoyed these, tune in on Fridays for short and sweet digests, particularly this season, looking for inspiration on people who've changed, who've made pivots, who have had big decisions thrust upon them or have chosen themselves to switch it up and do something different. Hoping you'll follow along and be inspired as well every Friday. Hey, happy Friday. The world is still a dumpster fire out there, but I'm not going to talk about that this week. There are plenty of other podcasters, other women doing the work to tell us how to stay active, how to stay involved, how to resist. So I am leaving it to them for now because I just wanted this to be a sweet little space on a Friday where you come for inspiration. So I am going to talk a little bit about what has been hitting me this week, and it's really synchronous. I don't know if you all feel this as well. Maybe it's that we're meaning makers and we look for meaning, so we see what we look for. But I feel like the world has been knocking me over the head this week to let go of perfectionism. I don't cling too tightly to it, but it's there. I'm a Virgo. It's what we do. We want things in nice packages. And very often in my life that has meant not doing something because it wasn't going to be perfect. And I have just had thing after thing after thing this week hitting me over the head, and I wanted to share a few of them. The first is this writing that I continue to do every morning with Lori Wagner. You can find her on 27powers.org. But always, she says, I get 3 videos a week from her, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as part of her wild writing family. And she shares a poem, gives us a jump-off line, and then we write for 15 minutes, unedited. We just let loose. And always at the beginning, she says, unbuckle your pants, let your stomach hang out, don't stop yourself, don't aim for anything more than you got right now, just write. And so that's what we do. And this morning on the video that I watched, she said, part of what we do in this writing is lowering the bar so that everyone can get on the page. In other words, we are all writers. You just have to sit down with a pen and paper and go, and you can call yourself a writer. And I really, really do believe that. And I love people who are inviting everyone to belong, everyone to be a part of the community. So I think we can all do that. And that was just a beautiful example for me this morning because it came after last night, which was another experience. I went to my first dance class with the woman who runs Panadanza Dance Company. Her name is Carlise Kelly. And I was invited by a friend of mine, shout out Holly, for nudging me to get there. And it was the most beautiful experience I've had in a really long time. It was down at the Delaware House in Bayview. And it was last night. I guess this is my first, but I guess it changes every week where the music and dance comes from in terms of countries. But this one was from her home country, Panama. And it was so fun. You didn't have to know how to dance. You just had to know how to move your body because that is the instrument that we all have. And over, she made everyone in the room feel welcome and encouraged, and she expressed her gratitude for each of us being there. So warm and so fun, and so easy is the wrong word, but so possible for everyone to move. And she too said something along those same lines of everyone can move, everyone has a body, so everyone can dance. And just another one of those moments where everyone can have a place in that space. And I just think in these times that we're living in, it is so important that we each as individuals and as a community feel this sense of welcome and this sense of belonging. Because I think that's at the heart of the dumpster fire that I'm not talking about, but that is out there right now. It's that we're not feeling like we have connections. We're not feeling like we belong. And I so appreciated being welcomed into that community, even though I'd never been there before. And so that was wonderful. And the other thing that I want to talk about is my Cream City dream, which I have mentioned so many times on this podcast. I don't know how many times, over a dozen, over 2 dozen probably. I've said, I really want to get all of the guests who have been on the podcast in the same room together, because what could we accomplish with this group of powerhouse women, right? If you just go to creamcitydreams.com, click the episode link, and run through who we have had on this podcast, you will see that these are some of Milwaukee's movers and shakers. These are strong women. These are women who get shit done. These are women who win elections. These are women who know how to organize and bring us together and lead, and who look out for everyone in this community and who make sure that everyone has a seat at the table. And I've been sitting on this idea for so long, in part because I'm a perfectionist. I wanted to get it right. I have these grand ideas. It's going to be like this. It's got to be here. It's got to have this many people. We've got to have this kind of food. We've got to have, and so on and so on and so on. And so I haven't done anything. And then over spring break, I was in California, and I get a text from a guest from season 2, if you'll remember, Cheryl Kniezel. She is the graphic recorder who does those incredible daily inspiring drawings about love and life and community. She also illustrated one of Parker Palmer's books, and we talked all about that with her on the pod. A book called Heart Speak, a visual interpretation of Parker Palmer's book, Let Your Life Speak. And she texted me saying she had just had coffee with Alicia Miller, who also a guest on season 2, CEO, founder of Soul Brew Kombucha. And they had just had coffee and decided that they wanted to help me get all these guests together. I had mentioned that idea to Cheryl when we had coffee last summer and told her, it's coming, I'm gonna do it. And I get this text from Cheryl a few weeks back that says, we're going to help you do this. We want to do this. We want to make it happen too. And I have to say, I was not living into the lessons that I have learned from all of the guests on this podcast. Lessons like start small, start before you're ready, good is better than perfect, just do it. And I realized in that moment when that email from Cheryl came through how much I needed the nudge, how much I needed somebody to move me from that it must be perfect mentality to let's just put it out there and see what happens. And all of those imposter syndrome fears flashed through my head. What if I send it out and no one comes? What if I send it out and people think this is a dumb idea? What if people are feeling grouped out already? What if people have enough community or have enough small ways of getting together and meeting the people that they need to meet that they just don't need this? What if? And I just thought, you know what? If it ends up being me and Cheryl and Alicia, because they said they would be there, if it ends up being just the 3 of us having a coffee, how cool would that be? And I called Cheryl and we had this beautiful conversation about what this could be. Starting small, didn't need to be the weekend retreat that I had built it up to be in my head, where I get hotel rooms and all the things that I wanted to when I bring all these people together. It could just be a coffee for an hour and a half one morning. And so you know what? That's what we're going to do. In a couple weeks, I have sent out an invitation to all of the 88 women who I've had on this show. And guess what? Already 13 of them are coming. Woo woo. And you know that there are people who haven't even opened the email yet, because don't we need to hear about things at least 2 or 3 times, sometimes 4 or 5, 6 or 7, before we actually respond and commit? So I'm hoping a few more will sign up. But you know what? If they don't, this group of women who are coming are incredible. And I'm already excited. I'm already making connections in my head for, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you get to meet her and you get to meet her and she's been wanting to meet you, and it's going to be awesome. I am really excited about this. So here's where you come in, dear listeners. I always joke about buying a coffee. I joke about the caffeine, but how that really keeps my internet running and the show hosted and the website up and all that jazz. But this time, if you would like to support me and the show and actually want to buy us coffee, that's where the money's going to go this week. I'm going to buy coffee for all of the guests who come to this coffee morning. So if you want to help, you know what to do. Click the link at the bottom of the show notes that says support this show, and that'll take you over to the Buy Me a Coffee site, and you can contribute to coffee for the incredible women who are going to show up. Who knows what we'll do, what we'll talk about, where it will go. I hope it'll be the first of many, but it's finally happening. Huge shout out to Cheryl and Alicia for giving me the gentle nudge to make this happen. 2 other things I want to shout out this week. I just mentioned her name, Alicia. She has the most beautiful voice, and I had the privilege of seeing her at the Milwaukee Rep Theater, one of their smaller theaters, when she was performing the greatest hits of Whitney Houston, and she's doing it again this weekend. The show is back, so if you missed it the first time, you want to get down to the Sauk Prairie River Arts Center on Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. and listen to all of the songs that you forgot, but that you will remember the instant she starts singing them, and you will be smiling ear to ear and probably singing along because you know all the Whitney Houston songs. You may not know you do, but you do. So highly recommend that show. The second thing I want to shout out is Shelley Roeder, former co-host of this very podcast, is still doing Tuesday morning meditations. If that would fit in your schedule, I'm there most Tuesdays from 9 to 9:45. A beautiful chance to stop for a minute in the morning, take a deep breath, wish some loving kindness for somebody. It's always some kind of loving kindness meditation, and connect with some pretty incredible women. I'll put the link to how you can sign up for those. They're ongoing, so every Tuesday there is a new meditation and a different set of women who pop up when they can make it. No commitment needed. It's free, and it's a great grounding opportunity on Tuesdays. Did I say 2? I actually have 3. One more thing is that next Friday, a week from today, is the April Creative Mornings event. I have talked about this before, but these are incredible opportunities on a Friday morning, the 3rd Friday of every month, always the 3rd Friday. And this is happening in chapters around the United States, actually around the world. There's always a theme. There's always a speaker. There's always 3 or 4 different smaller speakers who do just 30-second pitches to tell you what they have on offer. It's a chance to see a new venue because the show travels, the mornings travel, so it's at a different venue each time. So you get to move across the bridges, get out of your silo. And there's always coffee, always donuts or bagels or some sort of sweet treat, and the chance to just meet really cool, creative people. And you will remember, dear listeners, that we are all creative. The title creative doesn't just belong to the writers or the dancers or the actors or the artists. Every one of us is creative. So there is a spot for everyone there, as long as you register, because it does fill up sometimes depending on the capacity of the different venue. So be sure to head over to the website to register. It's free. It's always free, but you do need to register. creativemornings.com/MKE, and that will take you to Milwaukee's chapter. All right. I think that is all I've got this week. Don't forget, if you'd like to buy a coffee for me and for the guests who I am meeting at this coffee in 2 weeks, hop over to buymeacoffee.com/creamcitydreams and show your support for the pod. I will be back next Wednesday with another incredible woman living her dream in the Cream City, and in this case, slightly beyond the Cream City, but always a welcome fixture in our community. You'll have to tune in to find out who it is. Until then, Milwaukee, keep on dreaming.